All right, so we can't forget about television. We talked about our most anticipated movies. Now let's talk about our most anticipated television series. I've got quite a few titles here. We're going to start with our easily most anticipated, probably my most anticipated thing
Oh,
of
yeah.
2025, period.
Right now,
Whether
yeah.
movies, TV, doesn't matter. This is The Last of Us
hmm
season 2. You guys have heard us praise The Last of Us to the high heavens. I know there's a lot of people who don't like the second game, yada, yada, yada. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how much we love this property, how much we love game 2, game
Yes.
1, season 1. Season 2 looks like it's going to be just as good. Everything we've gotten from the trailers so far looks like it's going to be a wonderful adaptation of the second game, like it or not. It looks like it's going to be a perfect adaptation, just like the first season was. So
Yeah.
can't be more excited for this. Can't
No.
wait to see Caitlin Dever as Abby. I
Oh,
can't
I
wait to
know.
see Owen. I can't wait to see so
Just
many
all of it,
characters.
all the sets, everything.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Seattle and the
Very
Wolves and all that
excited.
stuff.
Yes.
Oh God, yes, yes, yes. I can't wait to see. That's going to be spread out. Game 2 is going to be spread out over 3 seasons. This season will be 7 episodes, which is shorter than season 1. But if they stay on that trajectory, then that would mean that we would have 21 episodes covering the second game,
Mm.
and the second game being about 2 to 3 times as big as the first game. That makes kind of perfect sense.
hmm
And I know that some of the episodes are supposed to be longer, but yeah, I mean, could I be more excited? No. What this will cover and where this will end is what I'm most curious about.
Yeah.
And will we get a game 3 that will then give us more seasons? I know we will never do a season beyond what the games have covered. So
Yeah.
we either get the third game and we get more show, or we do not get more show. This show
Yeah.
will never Game of Thrones go beyond the source
Oh,
material.
yeah.
They
No,
have said
yeah.
outright that will not happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully Neil Druckmann and them, after their next game, Intergalactic, will bring us more Last of Us if Neil Druckmann and company have a story to tell. If they
Of
say it's
course.
done and it's
Yeah.
over, then
Then
I
it's
will
done.
then I will respect that,
Yeah.
and we will just be done with it. But I think game 3 will happen, and I
I
think
think
we will
so
get that
too.
story right before a season 5,
Mm-hmm.
which would cover game 3 and could take us into season 5, 6, and 7, even 8,
That would
depending on
be
how big the game
insane.
is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume we will get a game 3, and I do think we will get at least 2 to 3 more seasons in addition to the 4 that we currently are going to be getting.
Mm-hmm.
So The Last of Us should be around for a while.
Yay!
All right, next up, we have another hugely anticipated season here, and this is Stranger Things conclusion
Yay!
with Stranger Things season 5. This will be 9 years after the
Crazy.
original show.
It's crazy.
And the first season of the show, I think, takes place in 83. And this is supposed to take place at the end of 87. So it's only supposed to be like 4 years
Yeah.
when these kids have aged almost a decade.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't do a bigger jump than that to
I know.
89 at least and end it with the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
But
we'll see how they all look. They're all gonna be old.
I don't care.
But it's okay,
I
yeah.
don't
We're
care.
big fans of Stranger Things in our house, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the conclusion of the Vecna storyline, what will happen to Max, what's going to happen to the all of our characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many to mention. I love this show. I love season 4.
Yeah.
I love all of the seasons. I've loved every episode. Yes, even the episode with 8 that everyone hates on. I love that episode. I don't get the hatred for that episode. I've been a massive fan. I literally pressed play on this show at midnight.
Yeah, from the beginning.
From the
You've been a
beginning,
fan.
I've been a massive fan of this show. So we went to the Stranger Things experience with the kids, which was really cool.
It was really fun.
My kids are as big as Stranger Things. It's their favorite show ever. This is a big Stranger Things household. So season 5, we're very much looking forward to it. I have no doubt they're going to break it into like 2 or 3 parts.
Oh, of course.
Which I'm going to be very annoyed with, like they did with season 4 and like they did with Cobra Kai. They're loving splitting these fucking things into multiple parts now, which is really annoying. But at least you get to savor it a little longer. And you don't just binge through everything all at once. So anyway, Stranger Things season 5. Super excited, but that will not be the end of Stranger Things. They have spin-off shows planned.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I would personally like to see a Dustin and Steve Harrington show where they go off and like investigate weird
I think that would be really fun.
I think that would be a cool show. But anyway. All right, next up, one that Kaylee and I couldn't be more excited for. Welcome to Derry.
That's crazy.
HBO. We did get a trailer, some footage.
Yes.
Alongside of like The Last of Us and The Night of the Seven Kingdoms and White Lotus, and they had this whole HBO like compilation trailer of like upcoming shows. So we did get some Welcome to Derry footage. So this supposedly is definitely coming out in 2025. This is supposed to be season 1 of 3. They have 3 seasons planned, and they're supposed to go in reverse order. So this one's supposed to take place in the 60s. The one before that's supposed to take place in like the 40s or 30s, and then the other one's supposed to be in like the early aughts. So hopefully this is well received and we do get all 3 seasons planned.
Really hope so.
But we do have Bill Skarsgård returning as Pennywise, which I didn't know if it was going to happen, but it looks like
that's huge. Yeah, that's massive. Yeah.
And Andy Muschietti is working on this to some degree. I don't know if he's directing any episodes, but he is involved in the making, and we are huge fans of the second film. Even though a lot of people hate it.
I really, really love the second film. Yeah, I'm very excited for this, especially because this is like obviously it's not the book anymore. Like we're moving beyond that, and I think that's really exciting, and just kind of getting to see more of the Stephen King universe and like what's going on with Pennywise like back in the day, because obviously, as we know, it's been around for a long time.
Forever,
so I think this is great, and I do think that like it's kind of one of the scarier Stephen King like books and like just kind of concepts to me. So I'm super excited for this.
The good thing is that this is its own thing, and so getting away from the source material and allowing them to kind of do whatever they want to do, this allows it to have a freedom that the other ones didn't and isn't going to be compared to anything, but it also is kind of like no holds barred. Anything goes. Any of these kids can die. You don't know what to expect. Like I'd read the book, so it's like I knew who was going to die. I knew like kind of what was going to happen for the most part. But with this, it's all who knows. And if they have these shows planned in reverse order, are we going to have characters in it that are coming from surviving the previous stuff, and then we're going to see their backstories in season 2 and 3? I'm very curious on how they'll work backwards. So I am looking forward to that. With the films, obviously we work forward. We get the kids and then we get the adults, but this time we're kind of going opposite of that. And I am curious on that approach, as opposed to doing like the late or the early 1900s and then working your way up.
Right, we're going backwards.
Which is an odd choice, but one I'm here for.
Yeah, me too.
All right, next up we've got Wednesday season 2. The first season was wildly popular and
Oh, yes.
successful.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could escape Wednesday's Dance
No, definitely
for the
not.
first few weeks after it came out.
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega was kind of perfectly cast
Oh, yes.
as
Yeah.
Wednesday, and Tim Burton coming in and directing a
Hmm.
couple episodes and lending his style and flair to it. And it was a very enjoyable kind of gateway horror show, focusing on one of the Addams family
Yeah.
characters. That's like one of the more beloved characters. Her getting her own show, and it being more horror centric, and it being set in this kind of like supernatural academy with like sirens and witches and werewolves, and
Hmm.
it was a cool fun show, and one I look
Definitely.
forward to watching again. This is another show like Stranger Things that I'm going to get to watch with the kids, and they
Yes.
really enjoyed season 1 a lot, and so did I. So this will be a fun one for the whole family.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we also we're getting some name. I know in Stranger Things we're getting Linda Hamilton.
Mm.
um, but in Wednesday we're getting someone, and I can't remember who it is. There's a big name coming into this. I know Christina Ricci was in season 1, which was
Hmm.
exciting since she played Wednesday
Yeah.
in the Addams
The
Family
OG,
movies,
well, the 90s
the 90s
movies.
movies, which I'm a big fan of, especially Addams Family
Yeah,
Values.
we talk about that movie a lot. It's so
we
good.
need to we need to cover those films at some point. Anyway, moving on to Yellowjackets season 3. This one comes out
Yay!
soon. This is next
Yeah,
month. This is
really
Valentine's
soon.
Day.
Yeah.
This is one show that we cover on the channel, episode by episode, week to week.
Yes.
We always enjoyed doing that. Speaking of Christina Ricci, she's probably my
Yes.
favorite part of the show.
So good. Yeah, I
Um,
love this show. I mean, it's definitely, it felt very like unknown when we started watching it, and
yeah.
then it got like a huge like wave of like fans, and it's
Oh
really,
man,
really
the
cool.
fans of this are fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, they
This
love
has
it.
such a fan
It
base.
has a
I've
huge fan
seen, because
base.
I'm part of like a Facebook group
Hmm.
of Yellowjackets fans, and I see like tattoos.
Oh
I
wow.
see like shout out to Amanda. She's she is on the Facebook group, but she's also a viewer of the channel,
Hmm.
and we've been friends for a while. She has Yellow Jacket sneakers.
Oh,
They
that's
actually have a
really
sneaker
cool.
line that they race, and she bought a pair
That's
of them. Like,
super
this
cool.
show has a massive cult following.
That's great. I mean, yeah, it's a fantastic show. Sophie Thatcher's in it, obviously, among others too. But uh, I'm excited. I'm super excited. I think it's got a great mystery to it. It's very like, I don't know. I remember every time we watch, like, we're like, what is happening? And like trying to
Oh
figure
yeah,
out what's going on. And I think it does a great job at setting that up. And
wonderful
so, and
performances.
wonderful performances too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the characters. I think
Yeah. They're all so
that's
memorable.
the strongest.
Hmm.
Melanie Linsky is
Oh,
fantastic. Juliette
so good.
Lewis. So many strong. That chick from Scream,
And also, of course, well, yeah, yeah. There's just a lot. There's a lot
Christina
of
Ricci.
people. Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh
her,
yeah,
but then
I
anyway,
love the girl who plays her as a young, young Misty
yes, young
as well.
Misty.
I love her.
All of them do such a great job. Like the older versions and the younger versions of the
Oh, and Ella
cast.
Purnell too.
Yes.
Love Ella
Yeah,
Purnell.
they both do just such wonderful jobs, and yeah, super
Hmm.
excited.
Yeah, very exciting, and soon. So we will be
Hmm.
covering that show week to week as we always do. All right,
Yay.
next up we get Alien Earth, which is supposed to be like one of the earlier timelines in the Alien franchise. Coming off of the success of Alien Romulus, some people didn't like it, but most people were very happy with it, us included.
Yeah.
Very excited for an Alien television series. Alien Earth is definitely one I highly anticipating. I know Ridley Scott has some involvement in this, and I'm stoked
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I haven't seen all the Alien films. I'm not a huge fan of the first one, which is kind of blasphemous, I think, to a lot of people, but I did like the second and third ones. And then I liked Alien Romulus a lot. I thought that was great. So I'm interested.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be an FX show that'll
Mm.
probably be on Hulu. So looking forward to that one. One of the bigger surprises, this is currently airing in 2025, but this is, I'm going to be talking about a different show, but it is connected to something. One of the biggest surprises of recent memory when it comes to television, because I haven't really cared for the last couple seasons of this, and this is a prequel show.
Mm.
Um, this is called Dexter Original Sin. Now, this
Mm.
isn't the show I'm talking about. I'm talking about a different show. I know I'm confusing you, so sorry. Don't mean to lose you here. But one of the biggest surprises of the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025 was Dexter Original Sin, which I think started in December. Or did it start in January? Maybe this is a
Uh,
2025 show.
I don't think it started in January. I think we watched some of the episodes in
I think
December.
so too.
Yeah,
But
we were super surprised at how great it was.
so good.
It's
We're
fantastic.
loving
Yeah,
it
it's like my favorite thing that we're watching like
currently.
currently. If you're a fan of the original Dexter like series,
It,
it's
yeah, it feels like a resurgence of that.
it's so great. Yeah, and
It,
it's yeah.
yeah, the casting is fantastic.
Yes.
The two characters, Dexter and his
Deborah.
Deborah
Yeah.
Morgan, are just like, I mean, they could not have cast them better,
No, they do such phenomenal jobs at playing
especially
them.
Deb. Deborah is the girl who plays her has her so spot
She's got
on,
a
but a
great
teenage version of
yeah,
her.
I think Dex is also like
They're both
really
perfect.
like it's so cool and it has just like the vibe of the original and you get Harry and like just like being
LaGuardia
in
and
Miami again with it's exciting because obviously the most recent season of Dexter like you are not in Miami anymore. It's a very different feel to it. And we were kind of like definitely like lukewarm on it, I think, for a lot of
New Blood.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Getting to the point, though, this isn't even the show that I'm here to talk about. There is a sequel show to Dexter New Blood called Dexter Resurrection, and this is a sequel show. Dexter does survive
yep.
at the end of New Blood, which is absurd.
It's
But
very absurd.
Original Sin actually
Addresses kind
addresses
of
and
like
takes
what's going
place
on.
after New Blood,
Yeah, technically.
and we see Dexter's life flashing before his
Yeah.
eyes in the hospital. So we do get to see how he survives
Yes.
in Dexter Original
Original Sin.
Sin.
Yeah.
So we already kind of get that answer. And then Resurrection should take place after he survives the hospital encounter of Dexter Original Sin. So this is Dexter Resurrection. But Dexter Original Sin should not work. It
Just
looks like a show that
yeah,
would be
you'd
awful,
think it would be
and
horrible.
when the trailer came out, people were super down on it and
Yeah.
were like, "This is going to be garbage. This looks like an inferior copy. What is this crap?" But for some reason, everyone I know who watches it, everyone who's reviewed it online, it has a super high rating.
Hmm.
Everyone's loving it. Everyone I talk to, including us, is loving it. It feels like old Dexter again. Such great casting, such great writing. Everything about Original Sin shouldn't work and does. So
Hmm.
I'm hoping the same
That
people who are working
resurrection.
on Original Sin are working on Resurrection,
Yeah.
and that can revitalize old Dexter to what it once was, because the
Yeah.
original Dexter show, those first few seasons were
Oh, it's like
phenomenal.
golden. Yeah.
That's like
It's
as
great.
yeah, as good of television as it gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then the later seasons, especially season 8,
It gets a little muddled
is pretty
for
lame.
sure. But
But those first few seasons are fucking fantastic.
yeah.
And Original Sin somehow feels like those original few seasons, and hopefully Resurrection,
Yeah.
which also comes out this year. All right, next up, we've got 2 Walking Dead shows. We've got Daryl Dixon season 3 and Dead City season 2.
Mm.
I'm right at the tail end of finishing Daryl Dixon season 2, Book of Carol, which has gotten very absurd. Everything with Carol is so dumb. They actually make you suspend disbelief too much, which I couldn't believe. They keep doing things where I'm like, come on. Like,
Mm.
and I'm usually like somebody who's like, I'm fine with whatever, but my God, there's some scenes that I'm like, do you really expect me to believe that? That is so asinine. So it's kind of pissing me off, to be honest, because it feels like she's just being worked in because she didn't want to be in the first season, and they're having to bring her into the second season and catch her up, and they're doing it in a way where they're just forcing it, and it's like,
Hmm.
stop. So I'm hoping with season 3 they can fix those issues and they'll have her caught up, and then it won't be as absurd. I love everything with Daryl Dixon in that show, all the stuff that happens, even though they kill off a character in a way that I didn't like, which pissed me off. But I am really looking forward to Dead City season 2. I really like season 1, the Maggie and Negan show. Really good chemistry between them because obviously they're like the odd pair of odd pairs since they hate each other, or at least Maggie hates him for obvious good reasons. I know a lot of people bowed out of the Walking Dead a long time ago, but for those of you who stuck around like me and are watching all of the shows, we still have 2 more seasons of The Walking Dead to look forward to this year. All right, next up, we've got The Terror season
Hmm.
3. Kaylee and I are in the midst of finishing season 1 right now.
Yes.
Um, and I never saw season 2, but this is a very, very well crafted, well acted, well shot show.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
reason Kaylee didn't talk during the Walking Dead stuff, by the way, is
I
because
don't watch any of it.
she
Yeah,
hasn't seen that
I'm
stuff.
not caught up. Yeah, yeah, I'm really liking The Terror a lot. It's a period piece horror, but I think it's got like, it has like the Thing vibes for sure, especially with like the location
It's an
and
anthology show. So
yeah.
season 1 is one story. Season 2
Oh,
is a
okay.
completely
I don't
different
know that I
story, and season
realized
3
that.
is a completely different
Oh, okay.
story.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. So anyway, the first season reminds me of The Thing, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and so we'll see what happens in season two. But I'm really into it. I think it's yeah, very well acted, as you said, and there's been a lot of, at least in this first season, like really creepy atmospheric stuff going on.
I think season
So
2 will be up your alley because it's, I think, like a period piece, and I think it's 1,000% a period piece, but I think it's Japanese.
oh, that's cool.
Could be
That's
Chinese,
exciting.
but I think it's
Either
Japanese.
way, exciting, yeah. Yeah, I think period piece horror is something that can be done when it's done well. I think it lands really well because it eliminates all of the like modern problems of horror films like cell phones and the internet and all of that stuff. And so there's something kind of just creepier thinking about like, people in the past when we were not as connected and like scary stuff happening, like so. Yeah, I'm excited for the third season.
Yeah,
So,
and this is made by AMC, who
mm,
also makes the Walking Dead stuff. They make very high quality
yeah.
shows, and they put in a lot of effort. And I think that the first season of Terror, since I haven't watched the second season, there is so much attention to
Mm,
detail, and it feels like a project that people really cared about, and
mm,
they were trying to make it as authentic to the time period as possible.
yeah.
And I always appreciate that stuff. And with people like Jared Harris, um, they have such high caliber actors as well.
Yeah.
So this is a show that I'm very excited to see that they're resurrecting, um, and I'm curious. I don't know if we have been given the plot line of the third one yet,
Mm.
but supposedly it's coming out this year.
Okay.
All right. Now this doesn't really have a lot of horror in it, but I thought I'd mention it really quick because I really loved the first season. I did not expect to like the first season this much, but I loved the first season. Kaylee didn't watch it. This is Twisted Metal.
Mm.
I was a big fan of the first season. It has some horror elements with the with Sweet Tooth. But I really greatly enjoyed it. I thought the characters are fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to season 2. So we'll see. It's supposedly coming out this year. It should. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's been 2 years. But the first season was a ton of fun. Now for some shows that aren't going to happen. These are shows that still have a slated release date of 2025, but none of these are going to happen. But who knows? Maybe one of these will happen. But I'm just going to throw them out really quick. We got the Halloween TV series.
Oh
We've got the
gosh, yeah.
Crystal Lake TV series. We've got the Conjuring
Yeah.
TV series, and Mike Flanagan's Carrie
Yeah.
television series.
I'll definitely be pretty shocked if any of those come out this year.
Mike Flanagan has Life of Chuck supposedly coming out. That probably should have made our most anticipated films list because that's
Hmm.
getting a lot of buzz. It's like his first non horror
Hmm.
film and Stephen King adaptation,
Yeah.
which I think I've heard a lot of positive things coming out about it. So very, very much looking forward to that. Love non-horror Stephen King adaptations. Of course,
Mm,
Shawshank Redemption
yeah,
and such. He's made some. I mean, he has some phenomenal Stand By Me and whatnot.
sure. He's got some
He's got
great
some
stories,
fan
obviously.
fucking tastic films. So there's that. But Carrie is another Stephen King
Yeah.
adaptation that he's supposed to be making. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw that at the end of this year. He
Mm,
seems to churn those out pretty quick, and I know he's trying to get to the Dark Tower. Please get to the Dark Tower.
please.
Um, but a Carrie TV show is not something I ever thought I would want, but because Flanagan's doing it, I'm super interested in it.
Yeah.
And please, for the love of God, can you cast someone who is not actually attractive as Carrie? Because, like, uh, Chloe Grace Moretz,
Oh yeah.
what a ridiculous casting for Carrie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please, please, please. Carrie is supposed to be homely. She is
Yeah.
supposed to be someone who is not appealing. So I think Mike Flanagan will cast the right person in that role. Hopefully it's not like Sadie Sink or something, because
Oh my
she's
gosh.
a redhead and this
Yeah.
and that, but she's way too pretty. I
Yeah.
don't know who I would cast, but please, for the love of God, at least try to make her unattractive. Anyway, Carrie is a TV show. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. The book
Hmm.
is so short. I feel like it's already been adapted 3 times, plus
Yeah.
that random Rage sequel. We have 4 Carrie movies at this point, and the 3 movies, the Angela Bettis one, the original De Palma film, and then of course the most recent one I just mentioned, they're all the same exact fucking
Yeah.
film. I don't know what we're gonna do, but it's Flanagan, so I have full faith.
We'll see
But
what he
will
does.
this happen? Will any of these happen? You think Halloween,
No,
Crystal Lake,
no. I would lose my
Conjuring?
mind if Halloween and Crystal Lake came out. No, I don't think so. I'm not gonna say. We might get, maybe we'll get, if we're lucky, like announcements for next year and like a trailer or something.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what I would expect.
Okay.
I don't expect to get the shows
No,
this year.
me
No,
neither.
no way.
They
I
all
I
have
wish.
2025 release dates
They're
currently, but
lying.
none of
They're
those are happening.
liars. No.
None of those are
Yeah.
happening. Dark Horse is Carrie. I think it's possible
Yeah,
we
okay.
see an episode of Carrie at the very end of 2025, but I still doubt that heavily.
Yeah.
That's the only one that has even a slight chance.
Yeah.
But everything else, no.
No.
But hey,
Maybe we'll be wrong. I hope we're wrong. But
we're
only
not.
if they're like only if they're good, not if they're like
Of
rushed.
course.
Right. I don't want to be like, give it to me, and then they suck.
Give it to me, babe. All right, guys, that's it. That's all the anticipated horror movies and TV shows that we can think of. Maybe I'll come up with a video game list. But other than that, what are things that we missed? What are things that you're looking forward to? What are things that should have made our lists? And other than that, anything more?
Nope.
Yeah. All right.
Nothing more.
We'll see you in the comments. Adios.
Bye.